Improve your golf game fast at the all-new Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center has the facilities, tools, and coaching you need. Enjoy the best facilities in the area with an expansive chipping and putting area, practice bunkers, a huge putting green, plus a 2,000 square foot indoor training area with 3 hitting bays, cutting-edge analysis technology, and more. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center in the heart of Palm Beach County off I-95 and the Turnpike. Find out more at kaisergolfcenter.com.
Lease the new 2024 Range Rover Evoque 250S today at Land Rover Palm Beach for only $499 per month with a 42-month lease and only $47.50 down, plus fees and first month's payment. Head over to Land Rover Palm Beach today, located on Okeechobee Boulevard just past the Turnpike, or visit LandRoverPalmBeach.com to set up a test drive of the new 2024 Range Rover Evoque 250S. Land Rover Palm Beach, above and beyond.
It's your boy JC, and it is football season, and nobody loves it more than me. And nobody loves Twin Peaks more than me. Eats, drinks, scenic views, 29-degree beer, happy hour daily made from scratch favorites, and always your UFC fight headquarters. You can watch any and every single football game happening in Ultra 4K HD from your Twin Peaks locations. You can watch any and every UFC fight, pay-per-view or otherwise, and never pay a cover. That's right, UFC fight headquarters, it's always Twin Peaks.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Be a part of the excitement as the nation's top collegiate place kickers are honored. Monday, December 9th at the Lou Groza Award Banquet, presented by the Orange Bowl. Meet the top college place kickers in America, and the area's best prep players and coaches are honored. Guest speaker, former NFL head coach Dave Shula. The Lou Groza Collegiate Place Kicker Award Banquet, Monday, December 9th at the West Palm Beach Marriott. For tickets, call 561-233-3180 or visit LouGrozaAward.com.
Habitat for Humanity of Greater Palm Beach County invites you to rediscover the Restores. Donate your new and gently used items or shop for great deals up to 60% off every day. Sales of donated items help Habitat for Humanity partner with local families to build and repair safe and affordable homes in our community. They are now offering easy online scheduling and faster pickup times. Schedule today with any of their 5 locations or visit HabitatGreaterPBC.org to learn more. That's HabitatGreaterPBC.org.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
The throne is for the taking in the NFL. Heck, in college football, too. Who made the biggest statement this weekend? We discuss.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. It's a Monday here on Theoretically Speaking at our offices here downtown West Palm Beach. City Place. Swing by, holla at us. It's your boy Theo Dorsey. C-Cat on the other side of the glass on the ones and the twos. Your Ravens, Monday Night Football tonight. You got the cap on. You left the Justin Tucker jersey at home.
It's a big one, man. It's a haircut day. It's a dinner with Aunt Julie and Uncle Todd day.
Oh, wow.
It's a Ravens game day. Oh, it's a big one.
Doesn't get much bigger than that. I mean, Aunt Julie and Uncle Todd. I mean, you brought them up earlier to be on the phone on first name basis. You were like, yeah, Julie and Todd are in town. I gotta get a trim and
I did not.
Get
you
things
missed.
together.
You missed. I said Aunt Julie and Todd. I would never call her just Julie.
No,
Julie
when
and
we
Uncle
were
Todd.
talking, you said
No, you missed it.
I didn't miss it.
You missed it. I would never do such
I
a
record
thing.
all of my phone calls, so you're screwed.
Yeah. Man.
That is so it's a big night for you.
Mm-hmm.
You'll are y'all doing the dinner before Monday Night Football? Are you going to be able to like squeeze in some watching and
I think we're going down to a casino down south, going to have dinner at 7:30 and then catch the game the rest of the way. So probably miss the first quarter.
Okay. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's Chargers, Ravens. It's a Harbaugh Bowl.
Ooh.
So
many storylines in this one. That's almost secondary because these are just two very good teams.
Yeah. Two very good teams. Also, it's a question as to whether, like, you're going to really figure out what the trajectory of what this Los Angeles Chargers thing can actually be. Like, how soon can they actually look like real contenders? If they get a win over the Ravens tonight, it's like, okay, we need to be taking this team seriously. And they still have another date with the Chiefs, so they have another data point to be able to prove themselves. But, like, Herbert is a top 5 talent at quarterback. Their defense is really good under Harbaugh, and they have a great run game. Like, this is I can't wait to see it. I do think the Ravens blow them out of the water, but I've been wrong before.
Yeah, I don't think they need to win, the Chargers. I don't think the Chargers need to win tonight to establish themselves as a legitimate contender. All right, contender, maybe not. As a team to take seriously that you don't want to draw in the playoffs. I think if the Chargers lose by a field goal, that's totally fine by them.
Yeah.
You want to win the game, but you're not disheartened and you feel like your team's a fraud if it's a 27-24 game tonight.
They're a year ahead of schedule, if you ask me. They literally just retooled that whole roster. They got rid of guys like Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, and mainstays in Chargers uniform, and they got a new head coach in there, and they're churning well because it's Jim Harbaugh. That's what you do. They're 7-3, 4-1 at home. They got the Ravens at the crib tonight. So again, it's a big spot for them to be able to prove themselves. What they kind of remind me of, even though it's not similar, is like almost like the Commanders, almost.
Just because they came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
The Commanders came more. Well, no. I feel like the Chargers always have promise because of who their quarterback is.
And because of Harbaugh. There's belief. I mean, our guy Mike Tannenbaum, who now is part of Team 33, is going to be part of the search for the next head coach and general manager of the Jets, according to an Adam Schefter report. Our guy Mike Tannenbaum, who joins us on Tuesdays, we'll talk to him tomorrow, now heading a search to find the Jets' new decision makers and play caller. And I mean, he called it this offseason. He was like, I think the Chargers are a playoff team. I laughed. He was right.
Yeah, he really was right. I mean, whenever you're in the same division as Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, you kind of say, all right, well, we need a wild card spot.
Yeah.
And they look like they are going to get that wild card spot.
They are in prime position to get the wild card spot, 7-3. Even with a loss tonight, 7-4, they'd be right there at the 6th seed. The AFC West looking like a 3-team, a 3-bid division.
And we're just a little bit late.
It's kind of crazy.
What was it, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
The AFC West was going to be the greatest collection of quarterbacks that have ever been put together in one division.
Derek Carr, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, and Justin Herbert. It was there.
It was there. Now the two guys are still there. Bo Nix instead of Russell Wilson. And you know what? The Raiders are the Raiders.
The Raiders are the Raiders. They continue to be the Raiders. They
Desmond Ridder might make some noise next week. How about that?
He made some noise this past night, and it didn't look good. The noise was like a bit of a whimper. It was a sack fumble that helped seal the game for the Broncos. What a football weekend, man. This was, of all the football weekends we've had this year, this one just felt so different. There were big statements made. College football got us started on a really weird note with the SEC collapse. And then for the NFL, from the 1 o'clock slate on through that shellacking on Sunday Night Football with the Eagles putting a stamp on their resume, a 37-20 win over the Rams. Saquon Barkley went ballistic. Just plenty of huge games. Let's start there, though. Let's start there because this is what we always do on Mondays. We ask, what was your biggest takeaway from the football weekend? What moved you the most? Sunday Night Football, and I hate to be recency bias guy. I hate to just go off of what we just saw last, but the Rams, you would have assumed going into that game, are a more well-coached team. They will be prepared for the moment. They know their backs are against the wall in a tight NFC West race, which is, it feels like in the NFC, the West is a one-bid division. You win that division, you get in. There's no wild card teams coming out of the NFC West. The Rams needed this one last night. The Eagles, playing with house money a bit after the Commanders dropped that game against the Cowboys. The Eagles were dominant. Outside of like the first couple of drives, it didn't feel like those were two teams that belonged on the same playing field. And Saquon Barkley was the difference, sequence in and sequence out. I don't want to be prisoner of the moment, but damn it, I'll fall into that trap right now today, C-Cat. The Eagles are 9-2. The Eagles don't have the best record in the NFC, nor do they have the best perception from the outside looking in. From the public, the Philadelphia Eagles are the team to beat in the NFC this year. Jalen Hurts led. They did last night was without Devontae Smith, by the way, their Heisman-winning wide receiver, their number 2 guy, and they dropped 37 on the Rams. This Jalen Hurts-led team, now that the defense is kind of on an uptick, Vic Fangio has found his way, starting to figure out how to use these puzzle pieces that have been so like skillfully crafted together. Like, they got a bunch of big names on this defense. Now it's starting to figure itself out. All those former Georgia Bulldogs being pivotal on big downs. Last night, that defense held Matt Stafford, future Hall of Fame quarterback Matt Stafford, to 0 for 8 on third downs. They can get off the field. We talked about earlier in the year, you need 3 things for me to feel confident in your football team to be a contender. It's a quarterback I can trust, a defense I can trust, and a coach I can trust. I'm still shaky on Nick Sirianni. I got to be honest. But I think I have so much faith in it's almost like the amount of ways in which that offense can kill you with Jalen Hurts. I have so much faith in that offensive line, and when they have both of their receivers healthy, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith being able to win, I have a lot of faith now in Vic Fangio being able to scheme ways up for this defense to get off the field on pivotal downs. And if Nick Sirianni can stay the hell out of the way, and I think last night those who have insight into it feel like he might have even out-coached Sean McVay. I don't know how you do that when we don't really know what his role is other than saying, let's go for it on fourth down. If Nick Sirianni stays out of the way, the Eagles definitively feel like the best team in the NFC, the team to beat. Their only 2 losses this year. They have some heavy asterisks by them. That's all I'll say. I like this Eagles team. I don't care what the Lions and the Vikings are doing. This is the team I would be most afraid to play in the playoffs because of Saquon Barkley, because of Jalen Hurts. And again, there is nothing that you can use to replicate what A.J. Brown is on a football field. As a blocker, as a ball winner, as a deep threat, as a third down conversion guy. Like, A.J. Brown himself, if he's healthy, makes this team totally different. And some of those losses earlier in the year, he wasn't available. This Eagles team is the team to beat.
Yeah, they're good. They're very good. And I look at the past 2 years, and you look at who represented the NFC in the Super Bowl. And you see the 49ers who won't be there anymore.
No, they're done. They're eliminated.
The nails in the coffin. Poor San Francisco fans. Another letdown year after a letdown Super Bowl appearance.
Told y'all.
Who said that? It was you, right?
All summer long, I've been saying it's more likely they miss the playoffs to make it back to the Super Bowl, and I called them as the team that would not make the playoffs, and here they are, 1-3 in their division, a game back technically, but they have none of the tiebreakers in the NFC West. And guess who they got to play next week? The Bills, the Buffalo Bills. They had a lot of good injury luck last year in San Francisco. Now they're relegating back to what they've been in the past, the team that seems to get riddled with injury at the wrong time. Sorry, I'm not relishing in their loss. It just was very foreseeable.
So the Eagles made it to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and most credit goes to the coordinators on that team. Nick Sirianni, what does he really do for the Eagles? The coordinators all got scooped up for a reason because of how great of a job they did on both sides of the football. And we talk about the path that the Eagles had to make it to that Super Bowl 2 years ago when they faced off against the Chiefs. Very easy games.
Yeah.
Once Brock Purdy was out of the 49ers game, that NFC Championship game was a formality. It was easy, whatever. I think they played the Giants in one of those first-round games
they played
as
the
well.
Giants. The first game was against the Giants as the 1 seed. The Giants beat the Vikings. That was the point differential Vikings.
Yes.
The Kirk Cousins, they're worst in their record. I think a 13-win team. So the Giants squeaked past them. That's what gets Brian Daboll Coach of the Year. That's what that was a. I mean, talk about a game of inches. That Giants win over the Vikings and then making the playoffs in the first place. That changed a lot of things in a bad way for the Giants franchise. But back to the point you were making.
Yeah, so the 2 contenders in the NFC. Who is the team to beat in the NFC? You're saying definitively you are convinced, no doubt about it, it's the Eagles. The other leader in the clubhouse has got to be the Lions, and I think the Lions made it 1 quarter away from the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I trust that the Lions can replicate what they did last year, if not better, in 2024, then the Eagles can replicate what they did in 2023 in 2024.
It is.
Or 2022 and 2024.
Right. Like the 2 years ago versus what the Lions were able to do last year. And the 49ers, the team that both teams needed to get through to make the Super Bowl, are out of it. So
I think what's more impressive what the Lions did to the 49ers. Still lose the game. Hold a lead in the second half on the road. I trust that. I'm more impressed by that from the Lions than I am the Eagles making the run to the Super Bowl because of how easy their path was.
So the one factor that I'll go back to, the tiebreaker for me in this that gives me the Eagles the edge over the Lions, is going to be the lack of Aiden Hutchinson. Like I think he means that much to that defense, and they're getting by without him. And yes, they added Zadarius Smith at the deadline, which is going to help on the front. He's a good edge rusher. I think that culture-wise on that defense, the amount of a threat that he is, not just as a pass rusher on third downs, but just on every down, he's one of those engine guys that just gets after it every single time he lines up. They're going to miss having Aiden Hutchinson on that defensive front. Now, maybe he's able to come back by the championship game or the Super Bowl, because we've heard these different timelines, and he's a workhorse. So I do trust he'll be doing everything in his possibility, within his own range of possibilities to get back. I'm not saying that the Lions are decidedly worse because of that. I would feel more confident if they had that guy, that presence. The Eagles did it last night without Devontae Smith. The Eagles are doing it as they're watching young guys fill bigger roles and get better as the season goes along under Vic Fangio on that defensive side of the ball. Like Quinyon Mitchell looks like he should be the defensive rookie of the year if cornerbacks were eligible for said award. Like Cooper DeJean looks like everything we believed him to be coming out of Iowa as the great white hope at cornerback, being a guy that is elite in that defensive secondary. And I just keep going back to, it's the renaissance of the running back. It really is.
That is the big difference between the 2022 Eagles and this year's Eagles. They have a top 2 running back in the NFL.
Saquon Barkley leads the league in rushing, and it's not very close. I think he has a 200-yard lead over Derrick Henry right now. He had over 300 all-purpose yards last night, which you told me, C-Cat, is what? One of 4 people to do that since 2000.
4 running backs, yeah.
Yeah, one of 4 running backs to do that since 2000, Saquon Barkley, the kind of tear he was on last night. And he feels to be a guy that is so laser-focused on winning. He doesn't care about those statistics. He doesn't, and that makes sense coming from where he started his career with the Giants, where it was just so much misery, so much clawing away to get to 8 wins. You cross your fingers, you get 9 wins, you sneak into playoffs. He feels so glad to be removed from that situation, the gratefulness he plays with, the joy he plays with, the amount of energy he adds to that offense, that there's just the feel about that Eagles team that makes me more confident in what they can be. Like the best, if we get the best performance out of Philly and the best performance out of Detroit, give me Philly on that Sunday.
You know what you can say about Saquon Barkley, which you can probably only say about 5 guys in the history of the NFL? He takes the top off the defense. I'm going to say it again.
Yeah.
A running back, not in the passing game.
Yeah.
It can be in the passing game. Takes the top off the defense. He turns 10 or 15-yard gains into house calls.
Yeah.
Not many guys extend their deep threat with their running back, and the Eagles are able to do that because he has game-changing speed and make and miss ability.
And to have that guy and have on this same team, right, that kind of dude in the backfield, to also have A.J. Brown, who can win any matchup against any corner in this league, Devontae Smith, one of the best tacticians as a route runner that we have in this league, a Heisman-winning wide receiver, and Jalen Hurts, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, short yardage quarterbacks in the NFL. If it's 4th and 1, 3rd and 2, anything short yardage or goal line, red zone, you have confidence. Like, they have so many ways to beat you. That's why I feel like their only hindrance can be Nick Sirianni. I am an anti-Sirianni guy. But for those of you that do have faith in him, for those of you that feel like he can be, and apparently I was watching Get Up this morning, and Rex Ryan, former Jets coach, now ESPN analyst, maybe future Jets coach.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask Mike T about that. He was talking about how he's been in direct communication with Nick Sirianni as of late, and he feels like he's been tempered out and that he's getting better as a head coach. He's becoming more stable. If he stays out of the way, that's the best team in the NFC. That's the scariest force that the NFC has. The Lions are. But, again, Jared Goff, he can be had. Jared Goff can be had. Jalen Hurts could be had too, but the moment you start having, there's one way to beat, there's multiple ways to beat Jared Goff. There's only, what am I trying to say? It's harder to game plan to beat Jalen Hurts because, damn it, he could beat you with his legs too.
Yeah, but I don't know of how much Jalen Hurts can beat you with his arm in a tie game in the fourth quarter. If we're looking at the NFC Championship game, if we're looking at Lions, Eagles, and you've got a bet slip in your hand, let's say the line is even. Neutral field, obviously that's not the case, but what slip would you rather have in your hand? Jared Goff, Dan Campbell, and the Lions, or Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, and the Eagles?
Well,
and I hate to dumb it down to just coach, quarterback, and team name, because the Eagles are much more than that, and as are the Lions. But which bet slip would you rather have in your hand if we enter the fourth quarter? Put your fours up.
Yeah.
It's 20-20. And kicking off the Lions.
I'd rather have the Eagles also because I trust the Eagles defense more than I trust the Lions. I have more faith in the Eagles defense to create stops, to create turnovers than I do with the Lions, and that's up front and in the defensive secondary. That's inarguable right now. The Eagles have a better defensive secondary and a better front four than the Lions. You can argue, we can have that conversation about linebacker play, and that's one of the more, if you're going to have one be kind of weak, the linebacker core can suffer. But the Eagles have a better defensive front and secondary, which is when you're in a tied game in the fourth quarter, those are the two things you're going to rely on most if you're Vic Fangio. I got more faith in them creating stops than I do of the Lions being able to do the same against that Eagles team.
But I think that coaching decisions matter so much, and you just know. And both guys are aggressive.
Yeah.
Sirianni's reckless.
They might set, if we do have Eagles-Lions NFC Championship game, they'd set the record for times gone for it on fourth down.
Yeah, that certainly would be the case. The tush push still matters, man. It's never 1st and 10 if you're an Eagles fan. It's 1st and 8.
Yeah.
Because when you get down there, you're going to go for every fourth down. It's not as effective as it was last year, but it certainly is close.
Who's the team to beat in the NFC, man? I have to pick the Eagles, and it's not just based off of last night. They've literally won 7 in a row. Their 2 losses this year, I can explain to you specifically why each of them happened. Damn, they could damn near be sitting here 11-0 today, and I wouldn't blink an eye. That's how dominant they've been. They had 2 blips on the radar. They probably went out the rest of this year. They look that good. C-Cat thinks it's the Lions. To you, who's the team to beat in the NFC as things stand today following another incredible week of football? 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. That's the number to the Baptist Health Hotline. Call in at Theoretically Speaking. Who do you have? Who do you fear the most out of the NFC's elites? There's a couple teams we haven't mentioned here that do deserve at least an honorable mention, but who's the team to beat in the NFC? Is it the Lions? Is it the Eagles? Is it the field? Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care is a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. Who is the team to beat? Coming off the Lions, getting a win over the Colts, a decisive win at that, 21-6, and the Eagles 37-20 victory over the Rams. The Lions, by the way, have gone back-to-back games, not allowing a touchdown for the first time since 1999. Defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn is going to be getting some head coaching, inquiries this offseason. This is going to be one of the most robust head coaching searching off seasons that we've seen in a while. If you factor in Bill Belichick is likely a name that's going to get hired. We got Mike Vrabel roaming the sidelines actively for the Cleveland Browns, trying to make sure he stays in the mix as a guy that should get hired. Ben Johnson's going to have his pick of the litter, offensive coordinator for the Lions. He's going to have his pick of the litter. Aaron Glenn is now entering his name in the hat as a guy who should deserve a nod as a head coach.
Jets might hire Rex Ryan.
Rex Ryan literally is one of the leaders in the clubhouse for the New York Jets job. That's 5 guys off the top here who expect to get a head coaching job this offseason. We haven't even gotten to guys like Dan Lanning for Oregon who might make the jump to the NFL. I'm trying to think of guys that Brian Flores for the Vikings, the defensive coordinator. He wants to be a head coach again in this league. There's a lot of guys out there right now, and I'm not sure how many vacancies we'll end up with at the end of the season.
More because of the talent pool.
Right?
Oftentimes, if you're a college football fan, it's like, oh, you want to fire Ryan Day? Oh, you want to fire James Franklin? Oh, you want to fire Lane Kiffin, your coach? Who are you going to take to replace him? And you kind of get a blank stare in return. Yeah. It's different in the NFL right now because there are names out there that can certainly replace your head coach. You'll be better off.
So the coaches we assume, and again, Deion Sanders,
right?
Apparently, the coaches we assume are gone. The Bears' job will be open. Matt Eberflus that team finds ways to lose more than I've seen another team with that much talent do in a while. He's done. They're 4-7. They're out of the playoff push, and it does feel like he's kind of lost touch. Not just with his ability to address the media, but with that team.
You don't feel weird giving Caleb Williams possibly 3 coordinators and 2 head coaches in his first 2 years?
No. I think that this next hire is your most important hire, and it needs to be somebody that you can stick with and go forward with confidently. Maybe you offer up Thomas Brown, who's the interim offensive coordinator and play caller right now for the Bears. Maybe you offer him up for whoever the head coach that's coming in. You tell him, hey, but this guy has to be on your staff. And you don't want to kind of dictate something like that because now you're narrowing down the pool of guys that will want to join your staff. But I would not be afraid of giving Caleb Williams his 3rd offensive coordinator this swiftly because I think the ramifications of sticking with Matt Eberflus could be worse than him just having to change systems again.
And, hey, Mike T always talks about that quarterback clock, right? It's not like Caleb Williams is getting older, but he's getting closer every year to having to pay him. So you got to cash in on these years of Caleb Williams and not waste it with a bad OC.
If you're the Bears right now, you got yourself in this situation because you were too afraid to get off of Eberflus last offseason because he showed you just enough. So you're like, let's give him one more chance. And you've done that in the past with coaches. And literally, if you look back to their last 2 times they've gotten rookie quarterbacks, they fired that head coach that they kept the year after that rookie quarterback's year. Justin Fields and Mitch Trubisky.
Do you think there was a conversation between the Bears front office and Caleb Williams about who he wants for his head coach? Do you think it's giving up too much power to a rookie?
Yes, I believe so. I think if you are Ryan Poles, general manager of the Bears, or whoever's in the decision-making seat to make that hire, Caleb Williams hasn't done enough to be in that kind of a, you know what I'm saying? Like, he hasn't shown you enough as a leader and a player to have a decision-making wing in that. You have to make that decision for him. I do believe that head coach has to have a real vision and a plan, obviously, for Caleb.
Like, he is the future of that franchise.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you can tell him that, like, point blank.
No. That's too much power for a guy.
Like, they go as he goes, and that's true.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you're right.
Caleb don't know who should be his head coach. He's not savvy enough to pick that out. He can't even read certain,
So Caleb Williams walks in the office and says, I want Eberflus back for another year.
I don't care. I want you to stop holding the ball for 9 seconds behind the offensive line.
Bad sack.
And figure things out, right? Like, you don't get to dictate things when you're not giving us on-the-field production. Caleb Williams has not been good enough to demand something like that. And if he is trying to demand something like that, therein lies part of the problem of what we've gotten out of this Caleb Williams experience. So the Bears' job will be open. The Raiders' job should be open, I think.
Yeah, Antonio Pierce. Yeah.
Like, they're trying to lose at this point because they want a top pick, but
who was the Texans head coach before he got fired?
Lovie Smith or David Culley?
I think it was Lovie Smith.
Yeah, they got the win at the end.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of. Like, that might be some Antonio Pierce action where the Raiders win games at the end of the season they probably shouldn't have won because it's a spiteful head coach.
Yeah.
And I can see that happening.
He's a dead man walking with that organization, mostly because they're also, Tom Brady just stepped in the door. There's ownership change. There's going to be a thought process change from the top down. I don't see him surviving all of that.
You want to start anew. If you're going to get a new quarterback and a new path forward with Brady in the organization, probably a new head coach too.
So the Bears, the Raiders, the Cowboys, obviously. I mean, Mike McCarthy's not under contract and they're bad. That win that they got, that's a Mike McCarthy spite win over the Commanders. Now they're 4-7. They're out of the race, it feels like, for a top 5 pick.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way to go out, Mike McCarthy. Matter of fact, I hope that they play themselves into like the 18th pick in the first round.
Oh,
that
my
would be incredible. That would be incredible work.
Quinn Ewers in a Cowboys uniform, if he falls that far,
yeah,
I could see that happening now. Now I talked myself into it.
Don't look now. Remember, Cooper Rush was 4-1 when he filled in for Dak the year that he got hurt.
Yep.
Cooper Rush 1-1 right now. He could rally off 3 more wins right now. They could be 7-7. They could be pushing for a wild card spot in the NFC. They can fool themselves into thinking they have a chance, which is what I absolutely love teams doing. So the Cowboys' job will be open as well. That's just 3. And there's a lot of first-year head coaches that have been very bad. You look at the Panthers, you look at the Titans, you look at the Patriots. I don't think any of those guys are one and done, though.
No.
Maybe the Panthers because they have a bad owner. Maybe.
Right, yeah, it'll be a problem. Like, they could make that mistake. They definitely shouldn't start anew again. What is that, 3 consecutive years and 3 new head coaches with the Panthers if that happens? Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that whatsoever.
And then you got Kevin Stefanski with the Browns, who, if he did leave, he would get probably any job he wants in the league right now because he's thought highly of. But why move off of Kevin Stefanski if you're the Browns? Who better than him to be your head coach as you're going to try to figure out the quarterback situation? You want a quarterback whisperer, that's Stefanski. They're a 3-win team now as well. Bad loss. I mean, a bad win over the Steelers on Thursday Night Football. Yep. You're ruining your odds.
You also have the Jets' opportunity opened up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're not going to stick with Ulbrich, I would imagine.
No, there's no way.
And then you also have the Jaguars. Like, I imagine that job's going to be open at the end of the season. If you listen to Russo and Rizzo from 4 to 6 p.m. right here on ESPN 106.3, resident Jaguars fan Colin Russo is convinced that Peterson lost his job like 2 months ago.
Yeah, it happened in London. He lost his job in London, and the nail in the coffin would have been actually losing to the Patriots. They won the Patriots game, so he was able to save it on paper, but he's done. He's done come the end of the year. We're going to get around on the other side. We got to discuss a lot of the football games we haven't gotten to. We're also still taking your calls on who is the NFC's top contender right now. Is it the Lions? Is it the Eagles? Is it the Field? The Vikings would love to say something about that. The Packers as well. We'll discuss that as we go forward. But first, I want to tell you, man, it is rivalry week, and rivalry. That's the hardest. Say rivalry week.
Dude, I had to record a commercial for what you're about to talk about, and I had to do it 6 times. Rivalry. I can't even say rivalry now.
It's hard. It's the hardest phrase, especially out of the common phrases in sports, to say. Rivalry week.
What's a different way to put it that makes it easier?
The week to play your rivals. I don't know. There's no way to put it that's easier. That's why we force ourselves to say it.
It's the Rivals Showdown.
It's I don't know.
Rivalry week.
It's rivalry week. Rivalry weekend.
There we go.
As the Coors Light College Tour is headed to the Treasure Coast this Saturday, November 30th, join Coors Light and the ESPN West Palm Street team at Townies in Palm City from 6 to 8. You get to check Florida, see how they go against Florida State, a little Florida State action. Showcase your tailgate toss skills as well for a chance to win prizes of your favorite college football teams. Enjoy $2 drafts and $18 buckets all game long. You must be 21 or older to participate. Molson Coors reminds you to please drink responsibly. I'll never forget my days as a sports anchor on local TV news in South Georgia. The first time I wrote it in my script and didn't realize it was going to be hard for me to say, and I was up there on the desk. And there's sometimes in TV where you're covered by video, right? You're what you're saying is B-rolled by video, so it doesn't matter as much if you stumble over something. This was one of those on camera, so people, you can see my face. You can see me struggling to say it, and I took 5 stabs at it and never got it right. It was embarrassing.
I think
I buried the tape.
One of the tongue twisters nowadays in sports is the Texas OU rivalry is called the Red River rivalry. I think that's easier to say than rivalry week.
Rivalry week is harder.
The R's with the W is difficult.
Yeah. Red River, that's why some people still call it a shootout, because it's a lot easier to say. Red River shootout.
I'm one of those guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, Red River rivalry or rivalry weekend. We just need to find a new word for rival. That's the problem. Weekend is good.
Ooh, foe.
Foe.
Foe can be anybody that you play that week, though.
Yeah. Hated foe. We'll work on it. We'll work on that. But, yeah, rivalry weekend this weekend, so make sure you tap in. On the other side, we got to get around. We hit some of the biggest games in the land, including how the hell did the Vikings let the Bears come back from that short of a deficit. That's CCAT. I'm Theodorus here with Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 1063.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen, and you know what time it is? It's game time. Tip-offs and touchdowns are on the clock all week long on ESPN 1063. Monday Night Football wraps up Week 12 with the Ravens and Chargers, the Harbaugh Bowl, beginning at 7:30. On ESPN 1063, it's game time. Tick-tock.
Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to making a difference in the lives of the customers they serve in the South Florida community. See how at PNC.com. You're listening to ESPN 1063.
What's the Anajar and Levine difference? If you're the victim of a car crash, you will always speak to a lawyer. You'll always get the highest standard of care from our dedicated legal team, and we'll always fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Don't wait. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
In office, West Palm Beach. You've got so many chances to win big on Hard Rock Bet. Even a small bet can bring in that serious cash. All you need is $1 and a dream.
Unbelievable. They've hit the parlay.
Let's go!
Big payouts for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Hi, this is Blaine Isbell, Corporate Vice President of Team IP. For over 30 years, Team IP has been a national leader in decorated apparel and promotional products. National corporate brands and 22 college bowl games, including the Boca Raton Bowl, make Team IP their partner of choice. Team IP, located right in our community in Stewart, is a proud partner of ESPN West Palm. Contact me anytime at 877-821-8643 or head to teamip.com and take the first step in making Team IP your team to boost your brand.
Festive fun is back on select nights. At Palm Beach Zoo, there's family fun. It's the best date night. Oh, Zoo Lights cheer here at Palm Beach Zoo. Oh, what fun it is to save wildlife at the zoo. Hey!
Zoo Lights, presented by Florida Power and Light Company and Discover the Palm Beaches, Florida. Get your tickets today at pbzoo.org/zoolights.
Experience the ultimate blend of luxury shopping, dining, and entertainment at the Gardens Mall. Just 1 mile east off I-95 on PJ Boulevard, this premier destination offers a mix of high-end brands, trendy retailers, and delicious dining. The mall's award-winning architecture, fine art, and lush landscaping create a stunning backdrop for interactive experiences and events. Whether you're shopping for the latest trends or enjoying the vibrant atmosphere, the Gardens Mall is Palm Beach County's top shopping and lifestyle destination.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with Hank and Sam from the Ford crew. Today, a new shipment of inventory.
Hank, what's going on?
Another hauler full of new Ford trucks and SUVs, Sam.
So much SUV capability. Is that?
Ford F-Series, the best-selling trucks for 47 years. And a big selection means...
big savings?
Yep, which means...
it's the best time to buy?
Well done, Sam. And time for America to get holiday ready with Ford.
Based on 1977 to 2023 CY Industry reported total sales.
Hey everyone, it's Kevin Love.
This is Bam Adebayo.
This is Terry Rozier.
This is Tyler Hero.
This is Josh Richardson. This is Nikola Jovic.
This is Duncan Robinson.
This is Jimmy Butler, and you're listening to ESPN West Palm.
ESPN 1063 is your home for Miami Heat basketball.
Hey, it's Josh Cohen. When you need auto repair, honesty and reliability are everything. Trust the home for honest, reliable service since 1970. St. Lucie Battery and Tire. St. Lucie Battery and Tire has all the tire and battery brands in stock for cars, trucks, RVs, marine, power sports, golf carts, everything. Major and minor service repairs, free tire pressure, battery checks. St. Lucie Battery and Tire, over 50 years in our community. And now with 18 full-service locations, West Palm to the Treasure Coast. Go to slpt.com. That's slpt.com.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
I got my appointment set for EDS to pull up tomorrow. We're going to just make sure everything is on the up and up with the air conditioning unit, make sure the air quality is still sound. That's because twice a year, actually, as a Gold Plan member with EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing, I actually am able to get these checkups for free. It's part of the Gold Plan membership, and they scope things out. They do routine maintenance on my air conditioning unit, and they make sure that everything is sound and good to go. I know it's cold outside, so I don't have to worry, but also, if it gets a little too cold and I want to knock that heat on, I got to make sure that thing still works properly. EDSIsYes.com. EDSIsYes.com. They are your trusted AC experts in Palm Beach County. A 4.8-star Google rating with over 760 reviews. EDSIsYes.com. We're talking timely service. You can book it online right now. AC or plumbing needs. EDSIsYes.com. Tap in with the good people, and they'll make sure to take care of you the same way that they do for me. See, Kat, this weekend for me was mostly about getting a lot of big chores and yard work done. I know I'm washed because my weekend consisted of me completing a puzzle. 500 pieces, by the way.
Nice.
Did that all throughout Saturday. Trimming back a lot of my front and side yard. Hanging Christmas decorations. I got to make sure everything is hung and ready to go because I leave for Thanksgiving to go visit with my wife's side of the family. So that's, I want to get it done so we can come back to a Christmas-ready home. So I did a little bit of that. Had a nice dinner by the water with the wife. Just real chill stuff. Real washed man stuff. That's kind of what my weekend consisted of. Watching my Kansas City Chiefs struggle with the Carolina Panthers.
It's just a weekly routine with these Chiefs, man. They don't blow teams out.
I don't even know. There was like multiple points in that Panthers Chiefs game. And again, you probably weren't watching it. Most people shouldn't have been watching it. There were other games that were more entertaining that were on.
Got the red zone updates.
But you got the red zone updates. And throughout that game, the one glaring problem I saw with the Chiefs and the reason why they weren't able to super duper pull away is they miss Isaiah Pacheco. Kareem Hunt has been a great stopgap. He doesn't have the juice that he once had. And their running game is not a serious threat. Teams don't have to take it as seriously. It's more 3 yards in a pile of dust. In a cloud of dust. Pile of dust. Well, that's what it feels like every time Hunt is chugging his legs. A pile of dust. He's a little older, longer in the tooth. I do think when Pacheco comes back, that offense is able to get gearing up more. But also, man, on the other side, I did not expect to see what I saw out of Bryce Young. That Bryce Young game reminded me of last year when the Chiefs played the Packers. And Jordan Love popped off. That was one of the first games that Jordan Love showed on the big stage that he could put it all together. And the Packers won that game.
So with Bryce Young, big criticism of his and why his offenses and he himself looked really poor his first couple of years in the league so far.
Yeah.
Or is that he's small.
Yeah.
And he just gets eaten up by D-lines. What was he doing? Because I know the Chiefs have a great D-line. They can pressure the quarterback. What was he doing that was counteracting that?
By the way, 263 yards through the air. I think that's the most he's had this year. A touchdown, no interceptions for Bryce Young. Our guy Jalen, who's out there in North Carolina, called it a Bryce Young legacy game. And he's right. 21 for 35. Only sacked twice. And honestly, the big thing about Bryce Young, the thing that impressed me the most was when Spags drew up those confusing and usually flustering blitzes where they would roll the coverage over and you would look like you had two high. It would really be one high, and there's a blitz coming off the backside and whatnot. There were several throws yesterday where Bryce Young looked surrounded by dudes. And one of them, he got hit by two dudes while throwing it, pinpoint accuracy. He was throwing the ball under pressure like a veteran, so poised, so calm. And it's funny, that's what they talked about with Bryce Young coming out of college was he was hard to rattle, never shaken, always on time. That's what he looked like. It really brought me back to my days of watching him at Alabama. He didn't miss. And when there was one-on-one coverage, he took risks, but they were calculated risks. He looked better. In some spots, he was looking better than Mahomes Sunday.
I feel like I've used this phrase and this cliche a bunch this season, but a lesson to be learned.
Yeah.
Is there a lesson to be learned about handling your young quarterbacks and not being afraid to pull the trigger, taking them out of their starting spot with the capability of putting them right back in after you think that they are better prepared to lead that offense.
I do feel like that we've learned that this year with Anthony Richardson, who they didn't get the win this past weekend, but who does against the Lions, and with Bryce Young, you could actually pull the cord and bench them and give them some time to figure some things out. Because one thing that I think we forget, yes, you want them to get the reps, and the live game reps are going to be beneficial, but if you have to, instead of working on yourself, prepare for a game plan to play this next team, you know what I'm saying, on a week-to-week basis, it's harder for you to actually develop and get better. I think for both Anthony Richardson and Bryce Young, the time off, sitting back and watching must have helped so much.
Nothing's irreversible. I think that's a lesson to be learned. Like, whatever you do, like, there's no turning back. I feel like that's the mentality when you have a younger quarterback start early.
Yeah.
Like, well, you can't bench him because what are you going to do then?
You
like,
can.
no, you can.
Yeah.
You can do that. You are in full control of who starts at quarterback and for every position, as a matter of fact, on your football team.
You absolutely are, and it's easier to do if you have continuity, if you have a strong organization. And I would argue the Colts nor the Panthers do, but it's worked out for them. So we'll see how that goes. But I will say, I was thoroughly impressed with Bryce Young. I'm excited for his future. It does look like he is a competent quarterback. He's going to round off year 2 right here. We'll see what the Panthers do this offseason. The NFC South can be had, you know? The NFC, not this year, but like in the coming future, the NFC South can be had.
Right, compared to other divisions, it's not on lockdown.
Yeah.
Like, someone's waiting to actually be reliably above 500 year in and year out in that division.
I don't trust for a second that the Falcons, even with Michael Penix, even having the future in place, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, I don't trust that they'll have a stranglehold on that division. The Buccaneers as well. NFC South can be had, and Bryce Young showed that he can be a franchise quarterback. We'll see what the Panthers do around him. Time for the Get Around. We're going to hit all of the top games from the weekend, from a marvelous football weekend, not just the NFL, also college football in the Get Around. Brought to you by Duffy Sports Grill. Are you ready for some football? Are you ready for some football? If you want to watch any of the action or hockey or basketball, go to your nearest Duffy Sports Grill. Duffy'sMVP.com. That's where you can go to look up the menu and also see what the nearest Duffy's is to you. But look here. You ain't even got to look at a menu for me to let you know what you can get hooked up on. 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. Don't matter if it's Tuesday or Wednesday. Don't matter if it was 5 o'clock or 7. 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. Pair that with 80 or more televisions in every Duffy's location, as well as some of the amazing starters, the gridiron nachos, the amazing mozzarella sticks, fire-cracked shrimp. I mean, Duffy Sports Grill is the place to be. Watch the action, enjoy some starters with your friends, or maybe even you want to check out the award-winning burgers or jumbo wings. Duffy Sports Grill, the spot to be at if you want to be an MVP. Sign up today, Duffy'sMVP.com. At Duffy's, our game is always on.
Next stop. The rumor mill is Santa Claus is also showing up at a bunch of different Duffy's this time of year.
Really?
Yeah. Again, Duffy'sMVP.com to find out information about that little tidbit of information. But our first stop on the Get Around, where we go game to game over the weekend to tell you what you need to know, Las Vegas, Nevada. Point blank period. Sean Payton was right and we were wrong.
Yeah.
The Broncos took down the Raiders 29-19, improving to 7-5 on the season. They are up 2 games in the win column for the 7th seed in the AFC. How much faith do you, Theo Dorsey, have on the Bo Nix-led Broncos?
A lot of faith, man. Another thing people are forgetting is the Broncos are paying Russell Wilson $40 million this year. You know? Like, that's going to free up in the future. They're going to be able to retool around a mature Bo Nix who is playing well beyond the means of what you would expect a rookie quarterback to be playing right now. That's a good defense in place in Denver. They also probably have still somewhat of a hit for Justin Simmons and some of the other guys they let go. Like, the Broncos are trending upward. This year, I don't think it's going to be that exciting, right? They're going to just probably middling, make the playoffs, get bounced one and done. But the future of the Broncos is bright. I think Mahomes is going to have some competition in the West.
Yeah, $40 million dead money.
Yeah.
That can go a long way when you consider Saquon Barkley's making $13.5 million.
Come on.
I hate to loop it back to Saquon.
Real talk.
But you can get a lot of weapons for $40 million.
$40 million, you can get yourself, you can get an elite running back and a corner.
How about T. Higgins?
Oh.
You can get T. Higgins for $40 million a year. Probably less.
Oh, way less. I would hope less. I would absolutely hope less.
Next stop.
We're going to Seattle, Washington, because the Seahawks claimed first place in the NFC West with a 16-6 win over the Arizona Cardinals. But did you know Geno Smith leads the league in interceptions with 11?
Woo!
Are the Seahawks your favorites to win that division?
I picked the Seahawks 3 weeks ago. I saw this kind of coming. Never had faith in the Niners. The Rams, they got an injury riddled. I saw the Seahawks being a team with good odds to be able to win the West. So I put some money down on Hard Rock Bet. That ticket now looking really shiny. Here's the problem for the Seahawks. Their schedule's a little tough. They need to win this weekend against the Jets. Then they have the Cardinals, the Packers, the Vikings, the Bears, and the Rams. So they're in control of their destiny because they have a lot of divisional games ahead of them, and they have the lead right now. It's just hard to predict what's going to happen out of the West. The only thing I can say for sure is it's a one-bid division. The Niners are out of it. I have my most faith is in the Seahawks. Second most faith, got to go to the Cardinals still, man. They still get to have the Seahawks at home in 2 weeks, and if they can get that win, Kyler Murray, I can see him having the back end of the year that's just as strong as the front end, man.
I think football will be better if the Cardinals get it. I just don't get excited about the Seahawks.
They're boring. They are. It feels boring. They're actually fun to watch sometimes, but it does. Is it the uniforms?
Might be the uniforms.
Is it Geno? Geno's an exciting player to watch. It is something inevitably boring about the Seahawks, man. You're right.
Yeah, give me Maserati Marv and Kyler Murray in the playoffs. Trey McBride's been looking good.
Yeah.
That's who I would prefer to see in the playoffs, but it's not very exciting.
Maybe you're just a hater because that's your former defensive coordinator there.
Next stop.
We're going to Green Bay, Wisconsin for one reason and one reason only. No Brock Purdy, no Trent Williams, no Nick Bosa, but plenty of problems for the Niners. San Francisco got beat down by the Packers 38-10. If you watch any of this game, you could have turned it off in the first quarter.
Yeah.
The Niners are now plus 700 on Hard Rock Bet to win the NFC West.
Yeah, that means that they have the longest odds to win the NFC West. Even though they're just a game back, they are down in all of the tiebreakers. They're not winning it. Brock Purdy hopefully will be back next week. Maybe Trent Williams comes back as well. They're not going to win it. They have the Bills. They'll lose that game by a lot, and their season's pretty much over. My bigger takeaway from this, though, is, again, it's the renaissance. It's the year of the running back. Jordan Love was not spectacular last night, but Josh Jacobs was. These teams that went out and invested in the running back position while people were down on it overall are seeing the fruits of their labors pay off. Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones. They're
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon. Those teams go as their running backs go. And again, teams that drafted some running backs high also paying off from it. Jahmyr Gibbs, high draft capital on the running back, paying off. Bijan Robinson, the Falcons go as he goes. The running back position is back. 2024 will be remembered as the renaissance year for running backs. And we might actually have an MVP candidate or two coming out of the running back field as well. What a joy. What a joy.
Yeah, it's when the market crashes, that's the time to put money in the stock market because you're getting a discount. The market crashed for running backs when we saw this offseason how little these guys are getting paid.
Couldn't believe it.
Should have bought then.
The Bengals were considering themselves a contender, and they traded Joe Mixon away because they didn't want to pay him.
Imagine getting Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley for the deals that they got.
Bruh, come on. This is stupid. I wonder how much it'll shift back, especially with Ashton Genty coming out of college football. Jordan Brooks might get a chance to get some reps there with the Carolina Panthers, former Texas running back. This is the renaissance of the running back. I do believe the teams that invest in that position the right way over the next few years are going to be the teams that find themselves getting the edge. And what's the biggest difference between this year's Niners team and last year's? The absence of their running back, Christian McCaffrey, who looks like a shell of himself now anyway.
Next
Injuries,
stop.
man.
We're going to Chicago, Illinois on this next stop of the get-around. The Vikings led the Bears by 11 points with 22 seconds to go. That game went to overtime thanks to an onside kick recovery and strong play from Caleb Williams. A nice pass across the middle to DJ Moore. Minnesota, they got the win in OT, however. But are you more or less confident in them as a contender?
I'm actually more confident in the Vikings coming off of that. I've been waffling on this for a little while. I'm more confident in the Vikings following that win because I looked at the rest of their schedule. The previous part of their schedule as well. Their 2 losses, the first one was a 2-point loss to the Lions in a game that we thought they could have won. They could have won that game against the Lions. That would have been a huge resume builder, and our confidence would have been at an all-time high for them. The next one was a schedule loss. Remember, that was the Thursday Night Football Rams game following the Lions loss.
Yep.
The Vikings were undefeated going into those 2 losses. Those are their only 2 blemishes this year. Sam Darnold has looked really good. They finally last night found an answer for when people triple team Justin Jefferson, and it's, oh, hey, maybe that other guy that we spent the first-round draft pick in, Jordan Addison, maybe get him the ball. He popped off for 160 yards. The Vikings are a bigger threat today than they even were back then. And it's funny because they're going to get swept under the rug in all of this. Like, yes, it's the Eagles and the Lions at the top of the NFC, but the Vikings should be right behind them.
What are you considering them as a threat? A threat to do what exactly?
They could be one of those teams in the playoffs.
They could upset
They
one
could
of
upset
the
Eagles or the Lions in the playoffs. They could end up representing the NFC in the Super Bowl this year, and that's not a crazy thought to have because they've got the run game, they've got the best non-quarterback in the league in Justin Jefferson, and they have a defense that knows how to get pivotal stops.
You're using the word could, so I'll give you leeway. Because I want to take all your action. If we see a Vikings versus either the Lions or the Eagles in the playoffs, I want to take all your action. No limit. Please let me be your book for that.
Let me check. Let's check Hard Rock. I'm just curious as we get ready to hit the next stop on the get around. Let's see. Team futures, conference winners, NFC. Plus 1,000, the 4th shortest odds in the NFC to win it. Next team closest to them is the Falcons at plus 2,000. The Packers are plus 800. The Eagles are plus 300. The Detroit Lions plus 140. I like the Vikings. They have a puncher's chance.
I don't know. You said you look at their losses as being very permissible.
Yeah.
Not inexcusable. And inexcusable losses happen to teams in the NFL that are good. But I look at their wins. I look at their wins from October on. And that's why I put them in my cats and dogs. That's why they didn't cover against the Bears. Very weak teams.
Yeah.
And, of course, the narrative shifts. If the Bears beat the Vikings, we consider, okay, the Bears are pretty good. But since the Bears lost the Vikings, we just look at the record and say, oh, the Bears are bad.
They're better since the change, but yeah.
One more stop in this edition of the Get Around.
Next stop,
Norman, Oklahoma, where our guy Jonathan Zaslow was there for the college football tour, and he saw a treat of a Sooners victory. Yeah, the Sooners didn't just beat the Crimson Tide, which would be a statement win for Oklahoma, first year in the SEC. They didn't just win the game. They left no doubt. They steamrolled. They bludgeoned. They dominated Alabama 24-3. And that score, honestly, isn't telling the whole story.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close. It was not a 3-possession game. That's Alabama's 3rd loss, which led them from SEC title contention and likely, we'll use that word, likely ends their hopes of making the 12-team college football playoff.
But you know what? It also gave hope to another team that is near and dear to my heart. The SEC collapse was crazy. On the other side here, I'll tell you why a South Florida squad benefited oh so greatly for it. I appreciate your Southeastern Conference. It just means more to me when y'all can collapse on the day when my team needs it most. We're going to get to that. Before we get to the other side, though, I do want to tell you about the Cognizant Classic. That is your next stop in Palm Beach Gardens. The Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beach is February 26th through March 2nd. Mark the website down with me right now. TheCognizantClassic.com. TheCognizantClassic.com/tickets. If you want to get yours, they're available now. We're less than 100 days from kicking off or teeing off the PGA Tour's stop in Palm Beach County at PGA National on the beautiful Champions Course designed by none other than the Golden Bear, right? Speaking of the Bear Trap, that's where a lot of the elevated hospitality options are, right? Like you can get yourself into a VIP situation like CCAT and I will have if you jump online right now, thecognizantclassic.com/tickets and see what those options are there. Or you can get a grounds pass. Daily grounds passes starting around $50. It's easy to get in. There's options for military options are going to be available coming soon here. We'll learn about those at the beginning of December. Or actually January. Todd Fleming told us January there's going to be some military appreciation options as well as options for free tickets for kids. The CognizantClassic.com. Tap in with our people. It's going to be a great tournament and some good golfing. On the other side, we address how the Canes came up, even in a game where they barely got past Wake Forest. They came up over the weekend. And they have our friends out of the SEC to thank. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey with Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Does your business leave a lasting impression? Attractive, eye-catching signs help you stand out from the crowd and create a strong brand identity. Our team at Signorama West Palm are experts in helping your business get noticed and get effective signage in front of your potential customers. Our team can turn your blank windows or plain vehicles into money-making branding machines by drawing customers' attention to your business. So if you're looking to leave that lasting impression, call us 561-687-7993 or visit signoramawpb.com.
Florida Atlantic women's basketball season is here. Join head coach Jennifer Sullivan and star guards Maya Perry and Jada Moore at Eleanor R. Baldwin Arena this year for big-time college basketball action. Groups of 15 or more get in free. Single game tickets just $10. The van, the cheerleaders, the fun, the action, it's all there with Florida Atlantic women's basketball. Visit FAUsports.com for more information. Florida Atlantic Owls, winning in paradise.
Ready to transform your life? Hexas MD's weight loss solutions are here to help you achieve a healthier, happier you. Get started with semaglutide and trizepatide. No insurance needed. With Hexas MD, experience weight management that fits your lifestyle without quick fixes or fads. Join thousands who've embraced a new way of living. Imagine the confidence, energy, and freedom to live your best life. Start your journey today. Visit HexasMD.com. That's HEXISMD.com. Use discount code ESPN50 for 50% off your first order.
Tickets are on sale now for the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. South Florida's only PGA Tour event returns to PGA National February 26th through March 2nd. Watch your favorite golfers compete on the Champions Course while enjoying a new on-site experience filled with local bites, craft cocktails, fan activities, and more. Get ready for a week to remember. Secure your tickets now at thecognizantclassic.com.
Shop Dell Technologies Black Friday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Black Friday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Adam Schefter here with Vivid Seats. We've got some late-breaking news coming out of the stands. According to multiple sources, Vivid Seats fans are scoring rewards on every purchase and at a rapid pace. Obviously, these rewards are a game changer, and coupled with their MVP-worthy ticket selection, why get tickets anywhere else? Don't drop the ball this season. Shop with Vivid Seats and earn rewards on every ticket. And as the official ticketing partner of ESPN, Vivid Seats is offering you $20 off your first $200 ticket purchase with code Schefter. That's code Schefter.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Lease the new 2024 Range Rover Evoque 250S today at Land Rover Palm Beach for only $499 per month with a 42-month lease and only $47.50 down, plus fees and first month's payment. Head over to Land Rover Palm Beach today, located on Okeechobee Boulevard just past the Turnpike, or visit LandRoverPalmBeach.com to set up a test drive of the new 2024 Range Rover Evoque 250S. Land Rover Palm Beach, above and beyond.
Guys, you're special today at Unlimited Auto Wash. Monday is Men's Day, and you save up to $5 off any wash at any of their 7 Palm Beach County locations. Check out the daily specials and find your location by visiting UnlimitedAutoWashClub.com.
Hi, this is Blaine Isbell, Corporate Vice President of Team IP. For over 30 years, Team IP has been a national leader in decorated apparel and promotional products. National corporate brands and 22 college bowl games, including the Boca Raton Bowl, make Team IP their partner of choice. Team IP, located right in our community in Stewart, is a proud partner of ESPN West Palm. Contact me anytime at 877-821-8643 or head to teamip.com and take the first step in making Team IP your team to boost your brand.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees in the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 20 national championships, including the 2024 Women's Swimming and Diving Championship and 2023 football, lacrosse, and men's swimming and diving titles. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest.
ESPN 106.3 is presented by Rubenstein Law. 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Car accident, truck accident, Uber or Lyft accident, or a slip and fall. Call Rubenstein Law. Call 1-800-FL-LEGAL and visit one of our offices throughout Florida.
Join us on Tuesday, December 10th for the YMCA of the Palm Beach's 15th annual prayer breakfast at the Breakers Palm Beach, featuring PGA Tour professional and Jupiter resident Ricky Fowler as the keynote speaker. All funds raised at the prayer breakfast provide children and families in our community with vital programs such as swim lessons, aquatics camps, and senior wellness classes. This inspiring event is a celebration of community, faith, and generosity. Tickets and sponsorship information are available at ymcapalmbeaches.org.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. It's a Monday. It is a Monday, right?
It's a Monday.
Monday?
Yes.
You got?
It feels like a Thursday with this holiday week.
Yeah. I thought I was wrong for a second there. It is a Monday here on Theoretically Speaking. It's your boy Theo Dorsey. Trying to get my calendar in sorts. That's what happens when you're getting older. That's what happens when you get older. I told C-Cat I had a washed man weekend. I did a puzzle. Did some lawn work. Some great lawn work, might I say. And I am available for hire. I also do some pressure washing, so hit us up. 888-760-3776. C-Cat's on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos, and also coming off of a long weekend of just being glued to the television, watching every single game of football is Espresso Martina, who's coming in hot with some big football takes.
That is exactly what I did all weekend.
You also ran 12 miles.
I did do that on Saturday, yes. Yeah. It was beautiful outside. If you did not go outside at all this weekend, you missed out.
It was great.
It was so beautiful. I got my boots out. It's perfect boot weather, some jackets.
Boot weather already.
Yes.
We Ashley and I took a walk. We drove over to the island and took a long walk across it was probably about an hour. So we just walked all around on the island and across the waterfront. It was nice.
It was so nice out.
Breezy. Everything. Did you enjoy the great outdoors too, C-Cat?
No.
Of course.
You just
not at all.
Ball.
Man, the lady's out of the house, and she has been for about 2 weeks now, and she will be for another 2 weeks. So it's a bachelor pad. It's disgusting at my apartment.
Yeah.
You realize how much your significant other does around the house when they're not around the house. And I'm learning the price to pay because I had my buddy who lives in Coral Springs come up and spend some time with me on Sunday, watch some football. And I was like, wow, I got to clean.
Yeah.
I got to clean bad.
Yeah.
Had my automatic robo vacuum running for on end for maybe 3 hours to try to fix it up. Didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So I had to manually squash and scrub and clean.
Yeah. You got to do it yourself, man. Also, the key, when you do have your significant other gone, the key is to just keep things all concentrated in one area. That way you don't, because you're the only one that's going to be moving stuff around. That's always my play. I'm like, look, I already know everything else is going to stay the same. I just got to take care of this little area, and it's easier to clean afterwards.
But C-Cat has dogs.
Oh,
and dogs
God.
cause hair everywhere, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I'll never have pets.
And I also get tired at night. I kind of stay awake until humanly possible before I make my way to the bed.
Yeah.
So, like,
why?
The right side of my bed is just all of my clothes from the days past. They don't make it to the hamper. So there's a mountain of clothes from that day that just pile up on the right side of the bed. And since I'm solo, I just get out of bed on the left side of the bed, so I never have to look at it.
That move.
Do you not have a TV in your room?
No.
Okay, so that's why you stay up probably watching TV in the living room.
Yeah, because, it's a psychological thing. I made this change when I lived on my own for the first time. I was like, you know what? I stay awake late longer than I want to because there's a TV in my bedroom.
Yeah.
It allows me to. If I psychologically know that my bedroom is for sleep time, I get tired immediately when I walk into the bedroom and I fall asleep fast.
Like a little kid.
Uh-huh.
My play when the wife is out of town, especially long term, I actually sleep on the couch in the living room. Just kind of like really just rogue it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm allowed to do that now. I'm a big proponent of couch sleep. I think couch sleep is necessary like at least once a week.
I love couch sleep.
Yeah.
I get the best sleep on the couch,
Hell yeah.
probably.
The worst sleep is falling asleep on the couch and then being told, like, go to your bed for some reason. And then you have to try to fall asleep again. The lights on. You got to, like, it's the absolute worst.
It's a big letdown. And also, the adjustment that you make internally to, like, when your wife is gone for a little while, it usually takes me like 4 or 5 days to get back into the good routine and the adjustment you have to make to be able to handle everything on your own. I'm sure you've made that by now because it's 2 weeks in. It's going to be tough to change back when she comes back then, too.
Oh, man.
You're going to have to dial all that stuff back.
I think we might use the second bedroom. Like, you know what? I think we're just going to
Yeah, you post up in here. I got things going.
Couples do that, though.
Here.
That's the thing.
I could never do that.
Couples will have, like,
separate bedroom.
They'll be happily married.
Yeah.
And it's not like a religious thing. It's not like a TV sitcom in like the 60s thing.
No.
Separate beds / separate bedrooms.
Couldn't do it.
They're happily cohabitating.
Yeah.
And they just don't sleep in the same room.
That's just weird to me. I think that's just weird. I can't, and you're right, I've heard about it. People have talked about it. A married couple having 2 separate bedrooms. I just couldn't get into it. It's not my style. Not my
think I could. And like, it's not like
he's starting to think about it. He's actually like he's gonna recommend this.
He's gonna have a whole plan by the time she gets back. He's like, so I've decided and I have this whole thought out plan of why we should sleep in separate bedrooms.
Buy a new bed.
Because like, I'm not a big cuddler, and it's not like an other bedroom life type situation, like not a sheets situation. Just the pure act of having to share a bed.
Yeah,
it might not suit the same people the same way. Two people the same way, and I think that is a healthy relationship thing. Like, hey, good morning. Like, hey, that'd be perfect. Like, maybe you have different sleep schedules. Maybe someone works nights.
He went from I'm not too opposed to it that would be perfect. This is the ideal scenario.
She's gonna land.
Yeah,
and there's gonna be a whole bedroom set up that is just mine.
It's just yours. Yeah, she's like, what's this? That's don't worry about that. There's a lock on that door too. 888-760-3776. We're talking about the biggest contender in the NFC. Also, separate bedrooms for couples. Pro or against that? I'm all the way against it. CCAD loves it. We'll get Tina's pick on that as well. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. That's the number to tap into. Theoretically speaking, that is the Baptist Health Hotline. 888-760-3776. Is CCAD going to get kicked out of his own house when he recommends that his girlfriend, who's been away for a little bit, sets up her own bedroom?
Dead arm on the cuddle. It's just, we could avoid all these problems.
Bro, you're still getting dead arm on the cuddles?
What's
That's
that
your fault.
supposed to say?
That's your fault. You need to be savvy enough to be able to adjust at this point and learn from your ways of the past. Like, you should, like, 2 months into a relationship, you should be able to configure a way in which you're not getting dead arms under the cuddle.
Hair in the face, being woken up because my significant other has a bad dream. I could do without all those things. Put it that way.
I got news for you. I don't care if y'all are in separate bedrooms or not. She's probably still going to wake you up if she has a bad dream. Yeah. She'll come and find you. It's going to be even worse, too.
Yeah.
888-760-3776. That's the Baptist Health Hotline. Is joint pain affecting your quality of life? At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, our team is experienced in traditional joint replacement surgery, as well as new, less invasive treatments, with the goal of returning you to what you love as quickly as possible. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care is offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. Coming off of literally the greatest rookie quarterback class of all time. This 2024 class, like I said it in the offseason, and it's proven itself to be so far, is the best collection of talent for rookie quarterbacks drafted in the first round ever. Throw out 84. Throw out 20, what was that, 2018, 19 that had like Herbert and the folks?
2020.
2020, throw that out. Throw out all those years where you had these combinations of quarterbacks. 2024 is going to be the year that we look back on and say, damn, you could have took that guy number one, you could have took that guy number one, you could have took that guy number one, and you would be satisfied and excited for your future. I know this because the dude that got drafted 6th in that class, 12th overall, the 6th quarterback that went, and Bo Nix, not only is he second, he has the second shortest odds now to win Rookie of the Year as the Broncos are 7-5. He's got guys like Damian Woody on Get Up saying things that I think is irresponsible, but just take a listen to his opinion on Bo Nix now.
I'll tell you one thing. This is Bo Nix. If we had a redraft, Bo Nix probably be the number one quarterback.
You go one? What? You go one?
Bo Nix, listen. Over the last 9 games, Bo Nix has 19 touchdowns, so only 2 interceptions. Bo Nix is playing on schedule. He's not taking negative plays. He's athletic. He's a guy that's able to move and run around. Bo Nix is playing really, really good football.
He is.
We need, as much as we've been talking Jaden Daniels for Offensive Rookie Year, Bo Nix has leapfrogged him right now. Bo Nix, to me, is the Offensive Rookie of the Year.
That's a strong statement. I still think Jaden Daniels is the leader in that clubhouse. The betting markets agree. I think that he closes it out and wins it. But those are 2 quarterbacks that weren't drafted number 1 overall that are likely going to be playoff teams, that are leading their teams to playoffs in their first year. We still haven't seen anything from Michael Penix yet, but we expect him to be good once he is inserted into that lineup. And he has the benefit of sitting and waiting, right? He's learning a lot, so he should flash pretty early on in his career. We haven't seen J.J. McCarthy, torn meniscus. But we see the situation he's going to be walking into. Kevin O'Connell, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hockenson, Aaron Jones. I'm confident that he'll be above average at least. He'll be good with the Vikings. And then you have Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams, who are, the Bears are bad. Caleb has shown flashes. He had a good game yesterday. He almost toppled the Vikings. I have faith that he's still going to be a generational talent at that position. It's the best quarterback class of all time, and this upcoming class is going to be thoroughly disappointing, not just because there's some teams that are losing or winning their way out of the top pick, so they're going to get stuck with like a Quinn Ewers, but also because it's going to be hard to replicate what we're seeing right now.
Ooh, and I love these guys who are showing out and showing promises. Take away Caleb Williams from the picture right now. Who the hell is Jaden Daniels throwing to outside of McLaurin?
Yeah.
Who the hell is Bo Nix throwing to outside of Cortland Sutton?
Yeah. He's throwing it to him a lot, apparently. Whoop my ass in fantasy. Thanks a lot, Bo Nix.
Yeah. Even Drake May. Who's Drake May throwing to?
Keyshawn Booty.
We found out earlier today that he went to LSU. Yeah. These guys are making do, and they're fitting in their system more so than walking into a bunch of weapons, and it's working.
Cliff Kingsbury with the Commanders got Jaden Daniels right. I think once Caleb Williams finds his coach, his coordinator, they have the weapons. The Bears will be good as well. Drake May, TBD. But again, the Patriots, we knew they would be bad this year. This class is elite. Y'all laughed at me when I said it would be the best rookie class of quarterbacks of all time, and so far I'm right. Tina, you have an affinity for these quarterbacks that don't get a lot of love. Like Daniel Jones, you're still sad. He hasn't found a home yet.
I saw that he hasn't found a home
making demands, too.
He's making demands.
I don't want to go to a middling team, middle of the road. Put me on a playoff team. All right, Daniel.
I like the confidence. I like the irrational confidence of Daniel Jones. We've seen 6 years of this dude stinking it up on the football field, and he's making demands as if teams need his services. You're taking a flyer on Daniel Jones if you sign him to the vet minimum once he clears waivers. It's not you're not thinking he's the piece to take you over the top.
I know what. I made fun of Daniel Jones for making that quote-unquote demand or ask that he be signed to a team like that. And, of course, he's in charge of that. He signs the contract just like that team does. But he's right. He's already getting paid from the Giants, so it's not about the money. You don't need to get paid like a starting quarterback. it sounds pretty cool. It's like pulling the JV kids up to varsity for a playoff hunt. That's what we did in my high school in baseball.
Yeah.
Is at the end of the JV season, when we get into playoff time for varsity, the best couple of guys get pulled up to varsity. They're along for the ride. They get to enjoy the locker room of a winning baseball team. So that's what Daniel Jones is going to do. He's going to walk into an organization who probably doesn't need him, but they would like the extra security blanket, and he'll get to enjoy a playoff run.
Hey, he could go back up Cooper Rush.
Ew, no. I don't think Daniel Jones would sign that contract.
That's
honestly,
hilarious.
If the choice was
the Eagles, though.
You know, these guys are
like the Eagles.
You still like that would be cool. That would make sense. I think Daniel Jones has made enough money and is going to make enough money to where if it's a situation he doesn't love or want, he won't sign a contract just to play.
Yeah, he'll sit out. I'm interested, not excited, to see where Daniel Jones ends up. Tina, you are as well. You like him. You think he's charming now. You hope that he bounces back in a good way. And either way, he better stay in playing shape. He better stay ready because you never know what happens in this in NFL seasons. Tina, you stay in shape. You stay ready. And it's not just your marathon running and the stuff you do on the weekend, but also it's what you do on a daily basis at F45, right?
Exactly. And if Daniel Jones does want to go somewhere, he's got to stay in shape, got to keep up with it. And he should go to an F45.
Why not?
You can do a cardio class, you can do a strength class. They can do just about anything. They modify if you need it. They've got classes in the early morning, the evening, the afternoon. F45 Palm Beach Gardens, F45 West Palm Beach. Check out their Instagram pages to see the holiday specials that they've got going on. But again, if you stick with it, you see the results. I've been doing it for over a year and a half now, and I've grown muscle. I've just seen my body transform, and it's been amazing. And see why I love it. Go check out a studio near you. Go to f45training.com to find a location closest to you.
I didn't mean to do a verbal when you said your body transformed. I think that was
Okay.
that was
You should have seen Tina before F45.
That was inappropriate. I was just agreeing with your overall context of your read. I wasn't.
It's okay.
You know, look the other way.
Yeah. I was like, and I was like, oh, damn it.
Yeah.
No, that's great stuff, though. F45 getting you right.
And you also got to go do a class.
I know, we owe you.
They now, Palm Beach Gardens,
Yeah.
F45 Palm Beach Gardens, you could take a friend for free on Saturday and Sundays for a class.
Yes.
So y'all got to come join one day.
Okay. You know what? After this Thanksgiving trip I'm about to take, I'm likely going to need it.
And they're not that early, like a Saturday 10 a.m.
Yeah.
or a Sunday 7:30 a.m.
That would be good, though. Sundays, you
Yeah.
want to get out there early so you can get back in time to watch some football.
Yes.
I'm actually down. We just need to set it up.
Okay.
Now, this Sunday won't work. I'll be out of town.
That's okay. Yes. That's okay.
But like next Sunday, are you down, CCat?
Yeah, let's keep it about you guys. I want to hear more about your experience at F45. That would be great for you guys.
We'll convince CCat to go.
I've also done multiple classes at F45 before.
Very good.
Just jump in there with us one time. One time.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yes. So say yes to it. If that's a great idea, what is there to turn down? What is there to say no to?
We just got to get all the incentives there. Like F45 has been doing like some events that go like where they have like other, businesses at these events where too, like I got to this weekend cold plunge, do some like cupping and like had a chiropractor there where
nice.
like maybe there's some incentives for CCat, like one of those bigger events. We can get him really to go and do a class, and then there's other free things he could do.
We're going to make that shake for you.
Yeah.
I'm just a producer behind the scenes. Co-host, please proceed. Thank you.
Shut up. All right, stop running from the smoke. We're going to get you in there. You're going to break a sweat at F45. I feel like there were several fan bases in the SEC that were in a pool of sweat. A pool of sweat and tears over this weekend as there was a colossal collapse from several teams atop the SEC, putting them in a position where it feels like now, like 2 weeks ago, we were like, are we going to get 5 SEC teams in the playoff? Are we going to get... Now we're like, there's only one team that's a shoo-in.
Yeah.
There's only one lock out of the SEC right now to make the 12-team playoffs. Everybody else is hopeful, fingers crossed, and has a lot of work to do to finish out these last couple of weeks.
Oh, it was an absolute bloodbath on Saturday. It's funny because this NFL Sunday kind of came out of nowhere. We were so hyped up and excited for 2 weeks ago, NFL Sunday with the Steelers, Ravens, of course, Chiefs, Bills. We hyped up that one, and it delivered.
It did.
Last Sunday for the NFL really wasn't hyped up because there's a lot of like 7-point spreads, 10-point spreads, but it still delivered. How about last Saturday? Also a college football Saturday that had a couple of bright spots. The games that were supposed to be good were not good. Talking to you, Notre Dame, Army. And the
Ohio
games
State, Indiana.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
The games that were not supposed to be good ended up in shocking results.
Alabama gets trounced in Norman, Oklahoma to the Sooners. The Sooners, who are not a good football team, not a playoff contender. That gives Bama its third loss. And now the only way that they could get in is if something like catastrophic happens to several other teams.
Which we can't even rule it out after what we've seen from SEC. Apparently, everybody can lose to everybody.
And then Texas A&M. Like, your head coach, Mike Elko, who's, formerly of Duke, great dude, really good coach. He has that Freudian slip at the mic when they're talking about the Auburn game where they asked him about is he looking ahead? Is he afraid that his team is looking ahead to Texas? Because Texas and Texas A&M, they play this weekend for a spot in the SEC title game. That was already locked in. And here was Mike Elko before A&M played Auburn, who, by the way, they were favored to beat the hell out of Auburn. Take a listen to Elko.
Those big games earlier in the year, maybe you look ahead. If we didn't have at stake what's at stake,
right?
Maybe you would worry about it. I think our focus is single-handedly on Texas. On Auburn right now, and locked in on what we got to get done.
Nope. You heard it, Tina. They literally asked the man, "Are you afraid that your team is looking ahead too far?" And he said, "No, we're solely focused on Texas."
Auburn.
Yeah. And guess what happened? 4 overtimes later, and the folks, was that at Jordan Hare?
Yes, it was.
The folks at Jordan Hare, and Nick Saban warned us about this on SEC, not SEC.
College Game Day?
College Game Day. Some people would call it SEC Game Day, the way that people feel there's a bias, but yes.
Funny things happen in that stadium.
Yeah.
And we saw it with their national championship run in 2013. That team was no way in heck good enough. That's not the Cam Newton team. No.
Yeah.
That was the Nick Marshall team with the Kick six.
Kick six was
and
crazy.
the win against Georgia that took a Hail Mary to win from like the 35-yard line.
Yeah.
Crazy things happen in Auburn Stadium, Jordan Hare.
And A&M found that out the hard way. And again, these are teams that are new to the SEC. These are like these weird new battles where it's like, A&M versus Auburn that's SEC now. That used to be Big 12. And A&M made the move a lot quicker. But like Oklahoma, Alabama's not used to going and playing at Norman. Right? Like, Alabama's not used to that environment. They should have been good enough to beat that team, but they lose that game as well. And there was a third loss, right? Ole Miss.
Ole Miss lost as well.
Ole Miss
and
falls.
It didn't look good either. And Ole Miss was supposed to be that team that was making a run. They were crowning and making statues for Lane Kiffin. And then, of course, Ole Miss went and lost that weekend as well.
Lane Kiffin was like outwardly talking about how everybody's trying to avoid the SEC championship game, and it looked like they were. Like, they all lost on purpose, but it all culminates in this. Because so many SEC teams lost this past weekend, the Miami Hurricanes, who struggled with Wake Forest in the first half, didn't look great, but ended up winning that game. They covered as well. They are in a position where if they beat Syracuse this weekend, they're in the 12-team playoff.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
It doesn't matter what happens in the ACC title game anymore for Miami because the SEC screwed it up. You're only going to get 4 teams out of the Big Ten. You might get 2, maybe 3 teams out of the SEC. And now, because the SEC threw up all over itself, the ACC is primed to be a 2-bid conference this year. SMU and Miami have an opportunity to make it, even if either one of them lose that game. It's more likely Miami can get in by winning against Syracuse and losing against SMU than the other way around if SMU gets its second loss in the ACC title game against Miami. But I do think both of those teams have a extremely strong case whether or not they win in Charlotte or not, because the SEC is going to have a 3-loss team that didn't even make their title game begging for that same spot.
And it's not even a pro-Miami take. Like, Miami didn't look great in that first half.
No.
As you mentioned, they still did come back. They still covered. They took care of business. But it is only residual. It's like, who's left? Okay, well, I guess Miami's left. Even if they lose, I still would want them in that game.
Yeah, that's why Indiana, they're locked in. Even with the loss against Ohio State, they're going to be a 1-loss team in the Big Ten. They are going to be in. Penn State, they're locked in as well out of the Big Ten, despite not being in the conference championship game likely, because the Nittany Lions are going to be a 1-loss Big Ten team that's not going to play in their title game. The 2 teams that win or that make it to the Big Ten title game were likely saying Ohio State and Oregon, right?
Yes.
They're both locked in too. That's 4 teams out of the Big Ten.
You know who's also locked in? Ohio State right now.
Yeah.
Ohio State could lose to Michigan next week, and it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
They would, if Ohio State lost, they would have 2 losses in the Big Ten. That would put Penn State in the Big Ten championship game.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? A 2-loss Ohio State, I'm confident putting them in because they lose a rivalry game to Michigan. Their other loss was to number 1 Oregon. Ohio State's in already.
We just locked in 4 Big Ten teams. Now tell me, how many SEC schools are you ready today to lock in?
I'll sit here for a while.
You can't lock any of them in. All you can say is SEC champion. You're in the 12-team playoff. Outside of that, I have no clue what's going to happen because there's a world in which Georgia either loses the SEC title game or they could fall to Georgia Tech this weekend and then win the SEC title, and then lose the SEC title game as well to like an A&M team, and then they leapfrog a bunch of teams, but then you're going to have Tennessee and Ole Miss on the outside looking in as well. Texas kind of has to win now, right?
Yeah, Texas is in my opinion, Texas is in back-to-back playoff games.
Yeah.
Texas has to beat Texas A&M to make the SEC championship game, and Texas has to win the SEC. Because if Texas has their best win being Texas A&M, who we just saw lose last week against Auburn, listen, all eats each other, right? Yeah. Cannibalizing himself. We punished the Pac-12 last year for beating up on each other.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of good, formidable teams in the last year that the Pac-12 did actually exist in the form that we knew it to be.
Yeah.
We got to punish the SEC as well.
Everything comes with something. The benefit of being in the SEC and the Big Ten is all of the money that you get to rake in off those TV deals, all of the notoriety, all of the recruits, all of the love, all of the glory. You get that because you're in one of the Power 2 conferences. The other side of that coin, you're going to be playing tough games week in and week out. There's a chance you're going to be a 3-loss team in some years, and that's going to hold you out of the college football playoff. You got to deal with that. You got to deal with that or take your sorry ass to a conference where you know you can finish top 2 every year. If you can't make it to your conference championship game, I'm crying no tears for you or your program because you had some hard conference slate games. Are they better than SMU? Most likely. Many of those teams that are going to get held out of the SEC. Tennessee, Ole Miss, like Georgia, if they lost, still a better team than SMU. Them's the breaks, brother. Rhett Lashley and them folks going to be playing in the 12-team playoff, and you might be on your couch because you're in the big, bad SEC. Sorry.
I might revise my take there. Sure. If Texas beats Texas A&M, they are in the SEC championship game against Georgia.
Yeah, the 2 losses, they're good.
Yeah, because their 2 losses would be against Georgia.
Yeah, exactly. Texas will be fine, I think, if they beat A&M and lost in the SEC title game.
Just because of the
because everybody
losses,
else has been so bad.
It's not because that they deserve it more so. It's more that nobody else does.
Texas is in with the win against A&M. A&M is the one that has back-to-back playoff games. They must beat Texas, and then they must win the SEC title game to get in. It is going to get increasingly more convoluted, and it is going to get increasingly more somebody's going to end up really pissed off. There's going to be a really good or 2 good football teams that get left out, and they're going to be looking at like Iowa State or Arizona State out of the Big 12 because we failed to mention Colorado and BYU just straight down their leg. Just warm flow straight down their leg on the big stage there.
We saw the Big Ten. If you'll bear with me here, back in 2020 when it was a shortened conference schedule, the Big Ten was kind of one of the conferences like the Pac-12 that took longer to decide, hey, let's play football this year during the COVID outbreak. Yeah. And they changed the rules mid-season to allow Ohio State in the conference championship game because by the earlier season rules, Ohio State wouldn't qualify despite being one of the top teams in the country. They missed the Michigan game. Do you think that after this year, seeing what happens, there'll be rules changed for the 12-team playoff?
Inevitably, yes, because it's going to shortchange the SEC, and they're not going to put up with that. Like what we've noticed in college football is what Greg Sankey and the SEC wants, they get, right? Like it just is what it is. And if they only get 2 teams this year or 3 teams, and they're looking at a Big 12 runner-up potentially, which I don't think should happen, or a ACC runner-up getting in over one of their pristine teams, then they're going to make some changes. And they have that much. They got that much influence as well.
Yeah.
So things are going to change. But this is why the whole time I've been saying we should have stuck with 4 teams. We could have stuck with maybe 6 teams. 12 teams is too much because now y'all are begging for these 3-loss teams to get in that didn't even make their conference title game. Dems, is the Breaks. A team that always makes their conference championship games, it feels like in every sport, is the Kaiser Seahawks. KUSeahawks.com. KUSeahawks.com. That's how you can tap in and check out the Seahawks and see what that football schedule looks like, see what the lacrosse schedule, the soccer schedule, swimming and diving, basketball, baseball. No matter the sport, they contend for conference championships. They contend for national championships, 22 NAIA national titles between all of the programs at Kaiser University. Check them out at the flagship campus of Kaiser University, KUSeahawks.com. Hashtag defend the beach. That's what they say. They defend the beach. West Palm Beach, that is. And the Kaiser football team is well on its way to repeating as the national champions in the gridiron on that stage. If you want to see the rest of their schedule, if you want to see how they'll do in this NAIA football championship series, tap in KUSeahawks.com. They're going to have a home game in the second round this Saturday. I'll be out of town for Thanksgiving. Maybe you're in town and you want some action on the weekend. Pull up to Kaiser University, KUSeahawks.com for tickets and their schedule. Check out the Seahawks as they defend the beach. Tina, C-Cat was talking about how he's struggling right now to keep his place clean.
Yes.
And we're not surprised. You know?
Gee,
it's
thanks.
like, no, I mean, your girlfriend's out of town. You it's not like you poise yourself to be the person that we would be surprised that you would not, have the place in an orderly fashion on a daily basis.
It's really introspective look because, she's the breadwinner and she's like keeps the place good. What do I provide? Like, why do I exist?
Why?
What's my purpose? Seriously, like I think I weed whack the lawn once a month.
Yeah,
that's what I.
Pretty good. And you're part of the 2-man lizard chasing out team.
That's true. She couldn't do it by herself. No, I did it by myself when she was gone. And yes, it ran up my leg.
So it was.
I'll repeat if you did not listen to the story a couple of weeks ago. The lizard ran up my pant leg, touching my skin, up my pant leg. No socks on, had drawers on. That was good.
Perfect.
Just an added layer of
but like briefs or draws that like are also protective more so. Because could he have ran all the way up and got to the prize?
It's the in between boxer briefs.
Briefs. If he's tight enough though.
If he really wanted to, maybe with one hand pull up and then crawl under.
That's true.
He might have been able to get under there
like a swim move.
Exactly. Kind of like But what do I provide in this relationship?
Tina's over here like, what the hell is going on?
Where are we going with
I
this?
fold the laundry. I guess that works.
Yeah, but you said
you're not doing that right now.
Yeah, that's true. I'm kind of just pulling my clothes that I wear daily out of the dryer.
You're a good fantasy football commissioner.
That's true. I brought the trophy to our house.
You did.
He does find all the deals. C-Cat finds all the deals.
Yes. She works from home a lot. I pick up the food on my way home from work.
Wow.
You save each other money.
Well, yeah, because you could be doing delivery like some people do, but you're saving like at least $3 or $4 every time you pick it up.
C-Cat's got all the apps. He gets all the savings.
Yeah.
I send him savings on Instagram. Like if I see something, I send it immediately to C-Cat.
And I appreciate that because nothing really grinds my gears more than when I see someone like use one of those food delivery apps, the third-party apps.
Yeah.
Where they like spend like $25 for it. If they went and picked it up, it'd be like $7. Like, man, you can get charged horribly through those apps, man.
Killed by those apps.
The
being
fees
lazy.
and the tip, and they
hike the prices up of the food on those apps too. People don't realize that.
Exactly, and I don't know how because I can't avoid it.
How's that possible?
Like I open the app and I see a fast food restaurant, see these $5 deals. No, they're charging $9.50. It's like,
what the hell is that?
What? Who are they? But they do it for a reason because people pay for it.
It's working. It's working. Tina, I asked you about that because maybe you have a situation that you've been doing with a cleaning crew of your own. And maybe you can offer our guy C-Cat some advice, and maybe you can help me out too because I'm in the market.
Okay.
I'm in the market, but it sounds like what you're doing with your cleaning crew might be bordering on illegal. I'll just say that.
No.
On the other side, we address that specifically, and of course, the Baptist Health Injury Report as things heat up on the football gridiron in both the pros and in college. You need to be healthy this time of the year. We'll tell you about a certain injury that might change the trajectory of the championships. The championships within college football and the pros. One championship that I would hope it doesn't get derailed by injury is the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beach, making its way back to Palm Beach Gardens, PGA National Golf Course. February 26th through March 2nd as the PGA Tour makes its way to town. It calls Palm Beach County home once a year, and that is the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. Go online right now. Do me a favor. thecognizantclassic.com. thecognizantclassic.com/tickets. Daily grounds passes, those are already available. We've had the hospitality suite stuff, the stuff around the bear trap, and all of the elevated experience parts of it. That's been available the whole time. It's been available for a while now. Check it out. See what the options are. Live the VIP lifestyle like I know you want to, because fans are theoretically speaking, you're VIPs to me. Act like it. TheCognizantClassic.com/tickets. There's military appreciation. There's youth ticket policy. There are so many things to tap in on and figure out what's next. This is exciting times. We're less than 100 days until we tee off the Cognizant Classic, where some of the best in the game of golf make their way to PGA National and play one of the most beautiful and luxurious courses in the land. That's the Champions Course by Jack Nicklaus at PGA National. You're going to love the Classic. Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches, thecognizantclassic.com/tickets for more information.
We're going to be live from there, so make sure you say hello.
We will be live, but again, we're going to be in it might be hard to get to us if you don't get some of these VIP tickets. You know what I'm saying?
We're in both spots. We move around all day.
Yeah. No, we don't. Not me. I'm staying in VIP.
Did I tell you how I ran into our guy, Todd Fleming?
Really?
On a run last week.
Was he running?
He was running.
Oh, okay, my boy. It's okay.
Yeah. It was along the beach.
Yeah.
I ended up finding out last week when he came in, I was 19 and a half miles in. He was 300 yards in. So
Okay.
I was like,
Yes.
I was ending as he was starting. But we looked at her, we're like, wait,
up.
hey, we know each other. It
Yeah.
was great. He's awesome.
That's how many? Do you know how long he actually was running?
I didn't get his
Surely not 20
distance.
miles.
No,
Surely
no.
not 20 miles.
But we ended up bonding. He's ran a marathon before. So he gave me
Really?
some tips and what to do and all this stuff. So it was great.
What has this dude not done?
I feel like that goes against runner code. You don't ask someone how much they're running. It's like,
Yeah, you do.
you do?
You literally
Yeah, you do.
You know what?
Look at this guy trying to tell us about runner's code. When's the last time you ran a mile?
Won't
Mr.
join
Runner's
us
Code?
at 45.
Last time I ran a mile was 11th grade. They didn't make us do it for the state test anymore, and I cracked 8 minutes.
That's good.
Like 7:45.
That's a good time.
Last time I've been clocked in at a mile.
That's a good time.
So, speak with me a little more respect next time.
I will. I'm sorry. That was a mistake of mine. I misstepped. On the other side, Tina, we address your cleaning crew, the way that you're taking advantage of your cleaning crew, and also maybe we offer some help up to our guy, CCAT, plus the Baptist Health Injury Report. That's Tina. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. It's the happy hour on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
ESPN West Palm and Humana are proud to recognize military veterans within our local community. Our Veteran of the Month is Richard Codd. Richard served 4 years in the United States Air Force while stationed in Montana, with 2 overseas deployments in Kuwait. Throughout his service, he exhibited remarkable dedication and skill. Richard is committed to honoring our nation's heroes every day in his personal and professional life while he lives in Port St. Lucie. He's an avid soccer fan and devoted supporter of Real Madrid, one of the best teams in the world, with the likes of Jude Bellingham and Vinicius Jr. His favorite athlete is none other than Real Madrid legend Cristiano Ronaldo. Join us in extending our heartfelt gratitude to Richard for his unwavering service, sacrifice, and continued dedication to his fellow veterans. Richard Codd is the Veteran of the Month, presented by ESPN West Palm and Humana.
Make Twin Peaks your football headquarters to watch all your teams all season long. Win or lose, you always win with the Eats, Drink, Scenic Views, and Twin Peaks 29-degree ice-cold beers. Enjoy made-from-scratch favorites. Enjoying all football all season long. Can't make it for the games? That's fine. Come through for $5 happy hour man-sized drafts and select appetizers as well. The Ultimate Guys Lodge is the ultimate football lodge, and that is Twin Peaks.
This is the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management program. Netflix is claiming the boxing match between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson was one for the record books, according to Jessica Golden of CNBC.com. Netflix said 60 million households tuned in for Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, peaking at 65 million concurrent streams. Gate receipts for the fight surpassed $18 million in revenue, according to Most Valuable Promotions. It is the biggest gate outside of Las Vegas. This is the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management program. Accelerate your career in sports with the program committed to developing top-notch executives and managers with a focus on the job placement for students and graduates. The FAU MBA in Sport Management program.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to helping the customers and the communities they serve move forward financially. See how they can make a difference for you at PNC.com.
Thanksgiving is a special time to gather with loved ones as we enjoy our meals and create lasting memories. Let's take a moment to appreciate each other. Wishing you and your family a very happy Thanksgiving from your friends at ESPN 1063 and Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Join us on Tuesday, December 10th for the YMCA of the Palm Beach's 15th annual prayer breakfast at the Breakers Palm Beach, featuring PGA Tour professional and Jupiter resident Ricky Fowler as the keynote speaker. All funds raised at the prayer breakfast provide children and families in our community with vital programs such as swim lessons, aquatics camps, and senior wellness classes. This inspiring event is a celebration of community, faith, and generosity. Tickets and sponsorship information are available at ymcapalmbeaches.org.
This is the Delray Beach Open. Don't miss today's top professional tennis stars and legends in downtown Delray Beach. February 7th through 16th. It's 10 days of tennis on the Ave. 140 miles per hour races, parties, music, art, and all the good vibes. Come for the nonstop action on and off the court. Snap pics and post memories at the DBO. Join us for a jam-packed week of ATP tennis matches. More fun, more food, more drink, more parties, more of everything. DelrayBeachOpen.com for info.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Bet live with Hard Rock Bet. Real-time wagering till the very last play. Missing the kickoff doesn't mean all bets are off.
Delay a game on the guy who hasn't bet yet.
Sometimes you just know your team is going to come back. The Sportsbook for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
My leg! I am not angry. I am in pain. My leg!
Time now for an injury report.
My head and torso! Wow, that's crazy. They hit me everywhere except my legs!
Presented by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Go where the pros go.
Ravens All-Pro linebacker Roquan Smith, who is questionable for tonight's game due to a hamstring injury, is unlikely to play versus the Chargers per sources. That, according to an Adam Schefter tweet. Adam Schefter, ESPN NFL insider. He adds in his tweet, Smith has not missed a game as a Raven because of injury. That is going to be an incredible piece against a Chargers team that likes to attack the middle of the field. And also, they live and die by being able to move the rock on the ground. That's what y'all's best run stopper for the Ravens, huh, CK?
Oh, man, and it's a revenge game for Chargers running back J.K. Dobbins because the Chargers wanted J.K. Dobbins. The Ravens didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. In that backfield, Gus Edwards is the backup to Dobbins, former Raven.
Speaking of revenge game, offensive coordinator of the Chargers is the much-maligned Greg Roman, who the Ravens upgraded, quote-unquote, from with Todd Monken. He's got something to prove. That's all aside from the fact that it's the Harbaugh Bowl. That's going to be an exciting Monday Night Football. That's your Baptist Health injury report. No Roquan Smith likely tonight. He's still questionable. It's a hamstring. Likely no Roquan Smith tonight. We'll get a ruling on that a little later. That's the Baptist Health Injury Report. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of skilled orthopedic sports medicine surgeons and specialists that specialize in surgical and non-surgical treatments to get you back to what you love. Don't put off seeing a doctor. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho today for more information. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. Tina feels like she had a cheat code. She feels like she found a way to circumvent the system, a life hack, if you will. And it has all of what she does before she has her monthly cleaning crew come and take care of the home that y'all are renting. Tina, what gives? What is this that you're doing with your cleaning crew these days?
So I have found this hack that...
What a heck.
It is a hack. Because I don't have to make my bed. And they make it so perfect that once a month, there is a cleaning service that comes to my house.
Yes.
And one time, I realized I had washed my sheets and my bedding all in the morning and then set them on my bed to just like, they were there. And they made my bed all nice and perfect.
Yes.
The sheets are all tucked in. Amazing. The top sheets on. All the sheets.
Yes.
All the sheets that I have are on. Everything's amazing. So then one time I just had my bed like kind of unmade and they just like made it and it was fine.
Yeah.
My hack though is that they will make my bed so perfect if I just wash my sheets and my bedding all in the morning
And just
and
throw
leave
it on the bed.
And just throw it on the bed.
Not even try. Like, she has time to make her bed herself. She has the optionality to be able to do it because also what you're forgetting there is that's opportunity cost. The time they're spending making your bed, that 10, 15 minutes, they could be cleaning the baseboards. They could be doing other things that'll be more advantageous to you and your time, but you're leaving it up to them to make your bed. That's
They make
lazy.
my bed so perfect though.
That's lazy.
I kind of with Tina here.
Thank you.
I think you should almost explore the length that you can go. Like maybe next time you leave your sheets and your comforter on top of the dryer.
Ooh.
And maybe next
That's
time
passive aggressive.
you, I don't know, leave your dishwasher just open and they put away all your cups and bowls and stuff. You just keep on doing things almost to done and they take care of the rest of it. You're paying them, aren't you?
Yes. They do though. Like they don't ever like there's been
know.
like dirty dishes and whatever in the sink and they don't put them away. Like they'll clean them and they leave them out and then like I'll put them away.
Okay.
So they don't do that. So
So
I don't
you leave your dishes dirty too before the cleaning crew
Well,
comes?
no, like if I have breakfast and I don't like put them in the dishwasher or whatever, and there is a dirty dish, they will clean it, and then they don't put it away. They like put it off to the side, like, oh, this was clean.
So what do you want her
It's
to
a
do?
service.
I want her to
she's
It's a
paying for it.
service.
The cleaning service
I'm
is
paying
there
them.
to get the like intricacies and the detailed things, not to be doing the daily chores and stuff that you're supposed to be doing. They are additive,
There's
not.
just some breakfast dishes there.
I don't
No.
like it.
How often do they come?
Once a month.
Yeah. No. You got to cash in on that.
No.
And I said this to you earlier today too. I like tidy up my room before they even get there. Like everything is pretty much clean and like good. It's just like that deep cleaning that I really get.
The deep cleaning is the service that you're really paying for. You're not.
But I could have left a way bigger mess.
Well,
I'm not though.
well, that's what CCAT has laying in his
Yeah.
apartment now. So we advise that you get in touch with our cleaning people, and they can handle
pass
everything
along.
before your girlfriend
They're
gets
great.
home.
A referral code or something?
Yeah.
I'll see.
I would like to get them as well, man. It's nice to get a deep clean.
Yeah.
I'll make my bed before they come, though, so maybe I can get a more of a discount.
Yeah.
What's our last call today? It's presented by the Gardens Mall. Tina, last call in the happy hour.
Let's do a fill in the blank. It's only going to be 2 words.
Yes.
If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far,
Go together.
good job, Teddy.
I'm like that. I'm really like that, man. I'm really like that. And if you want to buy yourself the kind of insight that I have, CCAT, the kind of let's say intel that I have, the foresight I have into her last calls, you can't even get that at the Gardens Mall. You can't even buy it there.
Get a lot of other stuff, though.
Yeah.
You can get so much at the Gardens Mall. But before I get into the
Couldn't
Gardens
find the
Mall,
word, by the way.
next week starts 12 Days of Christinamas.
Ah.
I will be starting on Monday You'll hear the song every day. The song grows. I know you are so excited to hear my great singing.
We're not.
And I will give a quote from a famous holiday movie, and the first person to call in and get that quote, that movie correct, that quote, will win a Garden Small gift card. And these Garden Small gift cards are amazing because you can use them at any store, any restaurant, anywhere in the Garden Small. Tab 42, Cooper's Hawk, Fit to Run, Abercrombie, all the places, everywhere. The
it's like a
food
euro.
court, it's literally, you can use this gift card anywhere in the mall. It's amazing. Celebrate the most wonderful time of the year at the Garden Small. Book your pictures with Santa at whereissanta.com. The Garden Small, just 1 mile east of I-95 on PJ Boulevard.
That's the last call. What was it again?
If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Gotta love
Job,
it.
C-Cat.
That's Tina, that's C-Cat. We go together with some Prize Picks plays for Monday Night Football on the other side. We're theoretically speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Hi, this is Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. We are a Florida civil trial law firm that specializes in the areas of personal injury and wrongful death. Our offices are located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie. Our lawyers have litigated thousands of matters at the Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River County courthouses. Our lawyers, paralegals, and other numerous members of our legal team live in Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast cities and towns such as West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Lake Worth, Palm Beach Gardens, Palm City, Jupiter, and others just like you and your families. We are a statewide recognized law firm, but it is your community and your families that we live and associate with on a daily basis. Our most satisfying achievement is when we know that our legal power has helped a fellow member of our Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast community secure a fair and just huge result. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
College basketball is coming to Sunrise. Catch a thrilling doubleheader at the 2024 AutoNation Orange Bowl Basketball Classic. Be there at Amerant Bank Arena on Saturday, December 14th as the UCF Knights take on the Tulsa Golden Hurricane and the Florida State Seminoles battle the Tulane Green Wave. Tip-off is at 2 p.m. Bring the whole family for a pregame party on the plaza. 1 ticket, 2 college basketball matchups. Tickets start at just $20. Get yours now at orangebowl.org.
Theo here. EDS is yes. You've heard me say that over and over. So I need you to keep this website in mind too. EDSIsYes.com. For the most trusted AC specialist here in Palm Beach County, EDSIsYes.com. For 24/7 support, EDS is a trained comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. There are so many reasons why EDS is yes. When it comes to your air conditioning and plumbing, EDSIsYes.com. That's EDSIsYes.com.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with Hank and Sam from the Ford crew. Today, a new shipment of inventory.
Hank, what's going on?
Another hauler full of new Ford trucks and SUVs, Sam.
So much SUV capability. Is that?
Ford F-Series, the best-selling trucks for 47 years. And a big selection means...
Big savings?
Yep, which means...
It's the best time to buy?
Well done, Sam. And time for America to get holiday ready with Ford.
Based on 1977 to 2023 CY Industry reported total sales.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
If you don't have Prize Picks already, what are you doing? Download the app today and get into the mix with us. Let's play. Prize Picks promo code THEOD, right? That gets you a free $50 with a $5 lineup played. Promo code THEOD. It's my name. It's easy to remember. THEOD. $50 for free. Bonus bets. That gets you locked in. Now, we got some pretty big plays today for Monday Night Football. We got Lamar Jackson versus Justin Herbert. We got Ravens Chargers Hardball Bowl. We have a couple of plays off of this one. Do you have one in mind, C-Cat? I'm looking at one I absolutely love. J.K. Dobbins, 47.5 rushing yards. I'm hitting more on that. He's done that each of the last 4 games, plus likely no Roquan Smith for the Ravens, I think the Chargers get the run game going. That's the Greg Roman way. Another guy that I think can go off tonight, Ladd McConkey. Work in the middle of the field. Again, no Roquan Smith. Ladd McConkey, wide receiver Justin Herbert. Give me 67.5 receiving yards, or I would even take his receptions. Hitting more on that. Those are 2 I like. C-Cat, do you have anyone you like?
I think you lower Lamar Jackson's projection to 199.5.
Yeah.
More on that. That's where I like that number for Lamar.
Absolutely love it. He hits that every single week, and he might need to against those Chargers because this will be a good fight. 2 good AFC football teams going at it tonight. Prize Picks plays are right at your fingertips. Download the app today. Use promo code THEOD. More or less on player projections, and you can win money today.
The Construction Reduction Sales Event is going on right now at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Greenway Kia is under construction, and we need to move the 24s off the lot so the new 2025s at the port can be delivered. So, we're making deals that other dealers won't. New